All right, guys, welcome to the news, the Drag Driver Pete News presented by Summit Racing for the end of May. It's May 30th, 2026. I cannot believe we're literally at the end of this next month. We'll be halfway through the year.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about, actually.
It's actually pretty nuts. But we're just kicking off the busy season, I would say. Eric has a whole breakdown of what June looks like, and it's going to blow your mind, I promise. I've got updates from Drop the Hammer. We've got upcoming stuff from Rocky Mountain Race Week, like who's going to be there in stick shift is what we're talking about today. We've also got Murf McKinney of McKinney Corp on to talk about Nitro Funny Cars and how he ended up in that business, but also they were the first route stop of Back to the Streets. So I want to say thanks to Monday Morning Racer James Kraft for putting, or Lee Kraft, sorry, for putting this together and getting this on here. I think this is going to be fun. I don't think we've ever had a route stop owner on the show to talk about their experience, but I think this will be a good one because I mean, this is a guy and a company that builds nitro funny cars. Like this is completely the other end of street cars. These cars don't even drive themselves to the lanes. So I think it's going to be fun to see kind of how their experience with that went and what they thought of all the stuff. So, Mr. Eric, if you'll hit the intro, we'll kick this thing off.
All right, let's do it.
All right, guys, like I said, welcome to the May 30th episode of the Drag Driver Pete News presented by Summit Racing, your source for drag and drive news and entertainment. This is going to be a good one today. We're going to have a ton of fun. Jeff Kirchkin, you're saying good morning. Y'all, my name is Mike Narks. I'm the host of this episode and the show that you watch on Wednesday nights. And the show Wednesday night, it's going to be crazy. We got Rocky Mountain Race Week to the gills, bro. We're going to talk about all things Rocky Mountain Race Week because it kicks off that Friday and it kicks off the, I would say, run to the championship. You know, it's weird. We go through February, then we run all the way to June before the next national event, which is absolutely insane to go that long. And then we have so many events in June, which you're going to talk about in a minute. You put together a calendar that's super freaking cool. And it's just, anyways, it's going to be a good time. We're going to talk about all that stuff. But my co-host, my right-hand man, Mr. Eric, tell them what you got going on.
I am Eric White, co-host of the show and news, and I got some more circuit photos wrapped up last night, so I'm excited. Right after the news today, going to drop some more of those. It's been kind of busy. It's been wild. I was kind of hoping to have more out by this time, but it is what it is, and I'm going to keep rolling on. But we're just about wrapped up with day one at the track, and then we'll hit day one route stops before we move on to day two.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. Well, you know what fills all of those photos is our race car friends. Bro,
Absolutely.
we can't do it without these folks. I have probably had I wish sometimes I could just show the amount of messages I get every day. And I can't imagine what like people like Derek Putnam and those guys get. It's insane. It's insane. I bet I probably message back and forth with 10 to 20 people every day about stuff. And guys, I just want to say thank you for that. It's so cool to be kept in the loop on a lot of people's builds, on a lot of updates that people are making, and just where they're going, what they're doing, all that kind of cool stuff. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. But guys, hit the share button as we move into the show. This is going to be a good one. And of course, our sponsors, man, one of our sponsors, Tommy Dupree at Summit Racing, out there today at Drop the Hammer. So freaking cool. So guys, if you're doing some shopping, hit these folks up. Summit Racing, of course, they've got everything that's probably listed below. All these sponsors below, I think, have stuff at Summit, except maybe two of them. So it's pretty awesome. Deechworks, who we have a new commercial for today. I'm so excited to have that. It's going to be awesome. It features Mark Campbell's car plus a bunch of other parts and things like that they've got. Molly Motorsports, of course. Big shout out to Adam. And these were like our first, I would say big time brand sponsor that came on board. So big shout out to Molly. They've been here since the beginning. They are some OGs. Driven Racing Oil, who is at Speedfest today. They're probably also at 3 other places across the country. Man, if you need your stuff going around, you better get your oil now. Get it from Driven. DDR10 discount code on all that stuff. Howard's Cams, of course, Luke B over there, valve train specialist. If you need your stuff to make power, Luke B's your guy. J Wire Solutions. If you need your stuff wired or plumbed, he's your dude. AFCO Racing Products, not just suspension pieces, but that's what Eric Saffel knows best. But they also have a ton of cooling brakes and all that kind of stuff. Cooling and brakes, not cooling brakes, cooling and brakes. Performer built transmissions. Dude, they put a 4L60 in the sevens. Like, I don't think I have to explain anything else on that. Car Change 3D, who we're going to feature later in the show. A bunch of new products over there. Super cool. And then Low Dollar Motorsports, of course, in conjunction with a lot of the AFCO stuff. You can use that Low Dollar Motorsport sensor and just keep your car, I guess, all the data. Data is important these days. And of course, PowerTube TV and Racing Junk Classifieds. Appreciate them for all they do for us. And we're going to feature Racing Junk at the end of the show. Eric has 2 cars in there, 2 cars, right?
Yep.
For today. Yeah, 2 cars in there for all the cool stuff. But let's let Brian Lone tell us about Summit, and then we'll talk about all the cool stuff they got going on.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance, priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Well, dude, they had a great, we're not really car show people over here. We don't do a lot of car shows. But I thought this was pretty cool. A car show essentials, a 5-part packing list to ensure prepared at events. This is on the On All Cylinders podcast. Dude, we featured this On All Cylinders quite a bit. Are you on there as much as I am? I feel like it's like I need if I'm looking for something to read or update, I just go to On All Cylinders.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of good stuff. Like I said, we did the Wednesday night, we did the why certified helmets are important, stuff like that too.
Yeah, it's great. This great stuff. Just run through these real quick. Water bottle. I thought, you know what? Like, I usually keep a cooler, which is on our list for drag and drive stuff. This is typically what I drink, but I've got to get me a couple different water bottles that I can use. Folding chair, got to have that thing. Big brim hat, the Summit has those in the Drag Drive Repeat brand. And then, of course, detailing spray. I don't know what any of that is. None of my cars use that. So I'm sure the 240 does. Because it looks good. And then some cash. Dude, this burned me. I would say a couple weeks ago. I don't remember which event I was at. Had no cash. I had spent it somewhere else. Needed to run by the ATM. Dude, ended up costing me an extra $10.
Yeah.
So go by your bank. Get some cash, keep a couple $100 in your pocket, because you need to buy raffle tickets, you need to buy, hot dogs and all that kind of stuff, or just, give donations to events or charities along the way or whatever.
I'm not one that carries a lot of cash, so that one's a good reminder for sure.
Yeah, and this year for the circuit, I downloaded the Squarespace app, and we were able to, we took a lot of payments that way, which saved people a ton and helped us sell more. So if folks are out there and they're not willing to do that, there's something wrong, because it really helped us a bunch get a lot more merch gone, and then also donations. We end up having some people make donations that way as well. So I thought we would add to this list as well for drag and drive stuff. I thought a fuel can, pretty good idea. All the liquids your car takes, just a quart of oil, quart of transmission fluid, some water, things like that are probably not a bad idea. But dude, this one gets me, and Eric he knows me so well. Snacks, bro. I got to eat, or I get hangry and a little whiny. And then a cooler. You got to have a cooler for all that stuff. And I always recommend like a good looking or a cool vintage cooler in your old car. Looks super cool. And I've got one I'm going to start carrying in the old truck as well.
Oh yeah.
So those were my thoughts.
Great list. For snacks in that though, the other thing would be is we're making lots of fuel stops. So if you're making a fuel stop, definitely run in Love's gas station and get a bunch of snacks to take with you. That's usually what we do.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and of course, as you're on Summit Racing, looking up all the things that you're purchasing for your stuff, canopies, big brim hats, grab you some of that Drag Driver Pete Summit branded merch while you're over there. And of course, we have an affiliate link that you can find on the top of our Facebook page or on our website. Anything that says Summit Racing on our website will take you right through the affiliate link and right to summitracing.com. All right. Drag Driver Pete updates for this weekend. 2-lane throwdown, single day event. Today, May 30th, the Blue Whale of Catoosa opens up, which is really, really exciting. This is a complete rebuild. This is brand new for the year. This is a huge deal for Route 66. And so I've decided we are going to make it our second route stop for the 2-lane throwdown. So I'm kind of excited about that. We'll go first to Velocity Motorsports. I just grabbed a picture of some parts they have here, but we'll do snacks and stuff at Velocity Motorsports thanks to Deechworks. And then we'll go back up to the Blue Whale and cruise just, 8 or 10 miles of Route 66 for 2-lane throwdown. But I thought this was going to be really cool. They're actually opening it today as they are doing. If you saw in the Raceway chat this morning, they're doing like the 5,000 car cruise at Tulsa today. So opening this and doing a 5,000 plus car cruise dude, I should be in Tulsa right now.
That's so many cars.
Well, we did the math. At 17 feet each on average, it is like, what did we say? 8.5 miles long for 2 lanes, 8.5 miles long. So it should be an absolutely insane time to be over there to be in Tulsa. So good luck to them. That's all I got to say. Next up, I'm working on the old truck. Hopefully a little bit today. We've got some household stuff I got to get done, but I've got a full maintenance plan for this thing in hopes that I can get it turned around in time to take to Rocky Mountain Race Week for day 0 and day 1. I've got exhaust gasket to change. I've got a change and regap the spark plugs, hoping that takes care of some, say, not running right problems. And then just kind of go over it one more time. We've put several hundred miles on it since the last time we've done a nut and bolt check, and I just want to make sure everything is still good to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Need that for sure.
Oh, yeah. And then last up here, this is something we talked about Wednesday night on episode 153 with Matt Lang, but the Raceweight Facebook group will go live today at noon. We'll start letting people in. This is going to be a private group. It is, just as the artwork that Eric made here. So Race Car Friends, it's race real goals and stronger together. This is something we've been doing with about 15 people in just a group chat that has been really good. There's a lot of car conversation that goes on in there, but we weigh in every week, every Friday, and Eric's been doing a good job of keeping all of the stats and things like that. It just basically creates some accountability. And the reason we started this was, one, I want to live longer. I want to do race car stuff for a lot longer. And if you get too out of shape and can't do that, it makes it too hard. So a lot of folks have used this as motivation and just simply an accountability program. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think within that 12 or 14 people in the chat group, down more than 200 pounds.
Yeah, it was like 240, I think, last time I checked, and I didn't get to update it yesterday. So on Monday, I'll get that all updated and send that out again.
That's awesome. Well, so that'll get kicked off here in just a little bit. I'll make that post of that group in like the Drag Driver Pete Race Car Friends Facebook group and that kind of stuff. But it's going to be private. I don't want this. This doesn't need to be something that's crazy and carried out of hand. A lot of people are pretty private about their weight journeys and stuff like that. So just some accountability in a place they can go in there and have those discussions. So that's coming. All right. Race Car Friend updates. Drop the Hammer is going on right now. So, of course, Race Car Friends are our membership program, $10 a month, gets you all kinds of fun stuff. We're working on discounts with sponsors. This is basically just a group of people that support us in other ways other than just, sharing our stuff and things like that. So this is a paid membership program, but I wanted to go through and feature some of the cars that are at some of the racers that are at Drop the Hammer. Sadly, Bryant Goldstone out. We don't have any details yet, but he is out. He's not taken the javelin. But what really sucks is he's not even taken the Chevelle, which he brought to the event. So he took
Oh,
it for
man.
dinner the other night, but he's not going to take it on the event. So that's okay. We'll talk to him later today and figure out what happened. Casey Banner, dude, he just finished Back to the Streets just like a week ago, not even a week
Right.
ago. So he's still in the race. 640 index. He raced 650 index last weekend. He is currently 7th with a 644. 7th with a 644. So he's 0-4 off the dial and is in 7th place. That is extremely tight class. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. Tommy Dupree over there in the new Mustang that he finished. This is his event debut. I feel like I know he did turn and burn. That's right. He did turn and burn. So this is his second time out. He's second in naturally aspirated behind an 800 plus cubic inch Chevelle, bro, with a 653. So that car is on the money. And then last up, Robert Lamperic in DYO. We don't have day 2 results yet, so we don't know the split for that class. I think DYO follows along the same as like Sick Week and all that kind of stuff. So those are your Race Car Friend updates. We will have more Race Car Friend updates Wednesday night from Speedfest and all the other stuff that all the Race Car Friend members do. And if you want to know more about that program, let me jump in here and I'll put the link. But it's racecarfriends.com or dragdriverpete.com/racecarfriends-member if you want to be involved in that. And one, kind of our success story so far is that John Doherty won the free entry to Back to the Streets. And then Matt Donovan will be attending Rocky Mountain Race Week because he won the entry for Rocky Mountain Race Week. So pretty exciting.
Yeah,
all right,
for sure.
Tell us about some driven stuff.
All right, let's hit this ad read and we'll jump right in.
Hey, it's Brandon from Fort Smith, Arkansas here. Driven Racing Oil is a performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application. Whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing the limits in top-fueled drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cleaning and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance.
And you guys know, code DDR10, 10% discount on anything on the Driven Racing Oil website. Oil, degreaser, anything that's on there, use code DDR10, save 10%. All right, for our May events, again, we talked about it already, but going on right now, Drop the Hammer and Speedfest going on. Speedfest will be wrapping up today. Drop the Hammer wraps up tomorrow, so we'll be talking about these throughout the show and again on Wednesday night with some final results. And then jumping into our month of June, we keep talking about how busy this is. 11 events in the month of June. So kicking off, we've got Street Weekend, which is June 4th through 7th, only 5 days away, which feels crazy. Streetcar Challenge, same thing, June 4th through 7th, 5 days away. Rocky Mountain Race Week 1.0, June 5th, 6 days away. Alaska Speed Week, June 8th through 13th, 9 days away. Six Summer, the 15th through 20th, 16 days away. BC Drag It Challenge, the 17th through 22nd, 18 days away. Home Quarter Drag and Drive, the 19th through 21st, 20 days away. Two-Lane Throwdown on the 20th, which is 21 days away. East Coast Drag and Drive, the 26th, which is 27 days away. The Great American Detour on the 27th, which is 28 days away. And then rounding out the month is Buckeye Skips on the 29th, which is 30 days away. That's a list.
That's a list, dude. We go from 4 events or 5 events in May to 11 in June, and it doesn't slow down after that.
Yeah. So I had been thinking about this, and we'd been talking about how there's only a few days in June without an event. So I went ahead and put together this calendar. Look at those days. So we have no events on June 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. We go from the 4th to the 13th with events. We have 1 day off there, the 14th, with no event. And then we go the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. So that's 7 days in the entire month that there isn't a drag and drive happening.
Mm. Mm. Man, bring it on.
Pretty wild. So the busiest day of the month is on June 20th. We've got 4 events happening on June 20th. We've got Six Summer, which is here in the Midwest, Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa. We've got BC Drag It Challenge, which is in the British Columbia. We've got Home Quarter Drag and Drive, which is in Canada. And then we have Two-Lane Throwdown in Oklahoma.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah, 4 events on that day. Only 2 of them are even in the U.S. too, which is pretty awesome.
Wow. Man, if you look at that calendar, I'm going to make that full screen here. That's impressive. Like you start thinking about the insanity that ensues. Like that's everywhere around the world. I mean, we've got the UK because that's where Street Weekend is. Streetcar Challenge is in Georgia or Alabama. I can't remember. We've got Rocky Mountain Race Week in Nebraska and Kansas and Colorado. Golly, dude, that's
Alaska
awesome.
Speed Week happening in Alaska.
Man, absolutely insane. Dude, this is a
Isn't
great
it?
calendar. This is a great
Yeah.
calendar. This will be posted up here in just a little bit, of course.
Yeah, so pretty cool. It's looking at this list is one thing, but then seeing it day by day here is completely different. So
Yeah, I love the calendar setup. We may need to do this for
Yeah.
the rest of the year. That would look cool underneath the full list on dragdriverpete.com.
Yep, absolutely. Which, speaking of, that puts us at 50 events for the year. You can see all 50 of those events at dragdriverpete.com/event list-2026. And again, you've got the interactive map on the top. You can see where all those events kick off at. Below that, you'll have the list of all the events. So if you're looking for something, be sure to head over there and check that out.
Yeah, I really like the calendar idea. We may need to get Joe to whip up something. I know that takes a long time to put together. We got to get you. We have you on photos, man.
All right. Well, again, appreciate Driven Racing Oil. Again, use code DDR10 for 10% discount on everything on the Driven Racing Oil website.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's move on to the Detroit segment. This is where we're going to actually talk to Murf McKinney of McKinney Corp here in just a moment. But I want to debut the Deechworks promo video that will now insert instead of our lovely voices.
From street miles to track passes, your fuel system has one job: perform when it matters most. At Deechworks, we engineer high-performance fuel systems built for the demands of drag and drives. From injectors and fuel pumps to filters and regulators, every component is engineered to be reliable and consistent under real-world conditions. Whether you're chasing a personal best or driving hundreds of miles between tracks, Deechworks delivers the fuel system your build requires.
And of course, code DDR10 for all of that. Let me pull this down here. Just a few things before we bring in, again, I want to thank Lee Craft for kind of putting this together, and Matt Lang for having a place as cool as McKinney Corp for their route stop. This is the first route stop of Back to the Streets. And again, like I said earlier in the show, I don't think we've had a route stop owner on the show before, so this will be kind of fun. But this one's a super cool one. Murf is a former Nitro funny car racer, has built cars for, as Lee says, legends of the sport. I mean, guys like Don Garlitz, Prudhomme, Bernstein, and a ton of others. Several cars are already in museums, so that's kind of neat. And then, of course, they have a race car side and a full industrial side, which I'm sure we'll talk about here in just a minute. And they've been in business. Are you ready for this? 45 years building cool stuff. So super cool. So with no further ado, let's bring in our guest for this morning, Mr. Murf McKinney. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you this morning?
And we're doing awesome. I'm excited to do this. We typically focus here at Drag Driver Pete on, street cars. So the builders we've had here are, people that build typical cars that go, 6 seconds in the quarter mile to, 13 seconds in a quarter mile. But your stuff that you build is way faster than that.
Yeah. It's been a progression over the years, and they're not slowing down.
No, not at all. And anytime they make a change to, some safety rule or try to slow them down. It seems like it's only for a couple weeks, and then they get it figured out and they make all that power back up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yep.
So kind of walk us through a little bit of history. How'd you end up in such a, I don't want to call it a niche, but it kind of is, right? I mean, if you're doing nitro funny car stuff, that's a pretty small group of people you're building cars for.
It is. It's a very narrow vertical market. I grew up, my oldest brother had a dragster. He had several dragsters, so I hung around him when I was a kid, went to the races and hung around all the local drag racers. When I was 16, I had a 32 Ford Altered that I had gotten completed except for the rear tires, which I couldn't afford, so I had to sell it. At the time, I was working at Dairy Queen to make money to buy race car parts.
Nice.
And then got a job at a truck equipment shop and bought my first car in 1973 from Joey Rigo in Chicago. It was an injected fuel funny car, turnkey with a fire suit for $4,500.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And we matched raced that around the Midwest here. And every Monday morning, I'd go to the bank and pay down on my notes I borrowed to buy the car with. And it kind of evolved from there. I then had a fuel car later and drove for some other people and worked for some other people. And I thought I could build a better mousetrap. And so in 81, I quit my job, gave up that paycheck, and worked for free for 2 years to get the business started.
Yeah. And
I wrecked the first car that I built, and that probably sold more cars for us than anything we ever did.
Wow.
And I was racing with Bernstein and Verdome and all those guys, and they slowly started to come over and have us build cars for them. One time, we built probably 80% of the Top Fuel and Fuel Funny car field.
Wow.
In 08, we were delivering about 1.5 cars per week over that winter. It was insane.
That's wild.
That is wild.
Yeah. Then the teams wanted to start building their own cars, and we actually went down and helped them set up their jigs and got them going and show them how to do that. And everybody said, "Man, you're crazy." Well, there's not a lot of money in building the race car itself. You can't get paid the amount of labor it takes to build a car. It's a ton of labor in building a car. But they all copied our stuff, which was fine. So all the parts and components are still the same, and they buy all their parts and components from us, and we could do it with less people. So it's actually it's a better business model for us.
Yeah, for sure. Get them set up and show them how to do that stuff and get the jig right, and then sell them the parts that it makes it easier for them. I mean, they're not having to make it, and they come to you to buy the stuff. That makes sense. I like it.
Yeah. And you made a comment earlier about your drag and drive people. They're all do-it-yourselfer stuff. And quite frankly, I've never thought about that market, but that's kind of what we target in the drag race market today is the do-it-yourself guy. We've got all the hardware and tabs and brackets and stuff that you need to do just about anything on a race car on the shelf that's there, to ship out every day.
Yeah. One of the stories that that Lee shared with us was that a guy needed like a pretty specific piece of metal to fill a gap or something. And he was in the parking lot and you guys got to talking and you guys ended up having that piece that he needed on the shelf ready to go. And he just could buy it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Well, I grabbed some pictures. Lee did a great job of grabbing photos from the day. So I wanted to kind of go through, but this photo here kind of shows the level of cool stuff that ends up in your shop. I mean, I don't even know what this stuff on the left is, but I like it and it's shiny. So
it's all made in America. The stuff on those pedals on the left are throttle pedals that we use in both dragsters and funny cars, and we sell, out the door.
Yeah.
Those parts on the right are parts for Caterpillar. We do a lot of work for Caterpillar. They've got a factory here in our local town. We do a lot of work for them.
Wow. How cool. And then there was a post on your Facebook page, which is McKinney Corp. You guys can go find it. That was some crazy looking bolt for a Subaru. And I didn't grab a picture of it, but it's like a two-sided rounded head bolt. Like it looked so weird. But you said that in the post, it said that was something you guys do for one of your customers.
We make a lot of stuff for Subaru, a lot of special tooling like that bolt. That I think that bolt was a bolt they used on the dyno on their flywheels.
Wow.
But we make special sockets with magnets in them and special little we call it the gear from hell. It's a open-sided socket that goes over the brake line, and it's got a gear on the outside that they have a tool that torques it into place. But if that little tool spreads, they get an inaccurate torque reading. So they had specified the material initially, and they still were flexing. So we made them out of, I think, 8620, and they still flex. So I'm thinking, what's the baddest material we've got to be used in racing? So, well, 300M. So we made some out of 300M, and they haven't bought any since.
Oh, that'll teach you.
But that fixed it. That worked.
That's awesome. Well, I guess you kind of answered my next question. It's like when you end up in that and with those tools, like when you end up in the industry of building cars, you race those cars, which typically that's what you end up building, right? Because that's where you know where to start. And then it kind of, hey, this part will work on all of these other cars as well. So you grow from there, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I got to say that we talked about the motorsports being a very narrow vertical market. So because that's the business we were in, we had to learn how to get in and get out of jobs, small jobs efficiently, because what you build for a race car today, you're not building 6 months from now because it's evolutionary and changes so rapidly. So we had to learn how to get in and out of small jobs efficiently. And that's served us well on the commercial side, because a lot of the stuff we do for Caterpillar is prototype work, and a lot of the stuff we do for Subaru is all short run, small stuff. So, the good Lord was looking out for us and preparing us for this, and we didn't even know it.
Yeah. Matt Lang jumping in here, promoter for Back to the Street, says thank you for, probably one, being on here, but then two, letting all of our hooligan drag and drive racers come through the parking lot.
Yeah, that was a fun day.
Yeah. So switching to talk about the route stop there, what did you think of all the different street cars that you saw come through?
I thought you might ask that, and what comes to mind is there's no cookie cutter cars.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. They're all different, and that's refreshing to see, because we kind of lost that in professional drag racing. It's good to see the ingenuity and the thought process that goes into what they're doing, and the variety of what they've got. That's pretty cool.
These shots here were just some I grabbed. Again, shout out to Lee Craft for putting these up. But talk about a grouping of cars, especially like this shot with all the Walter Racecraft cars. I mean, you've got 2 third gens, but then you've got Jason Upchurch's Falcon in there too.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite car that you had seen come through?
Probably the guy that had the pickup truck with the turbochargers in the bed.
Yeah, I like that one. The little white S10.
Yeah,
that was a cool setup. And I think that guy, I think he was on a hard tire racing as well. So like a regular 220 treadwear street tire. Yeah. Sometimes people like to do it the hard way.
Yeah.
Coming from the world you come from, nitro and methanol and all that kind of stuff, those guys don't run radiators or anything like that. Were there a few cars that kind of surprised you that like these people actually put this on the street?
Yeah, there were. It was just an interesting mix of cars to see, you know, they had stuff loaded in the trunk or up in the back of the bed or on pulling a trailer, knowing that they had raced that car in the track, converted it to drive down the street and then come back.
Yeah.
It reminded me, I used to go with SFI to Europe every year for about 20 years. And the rally racing cars over do that. We'd go to a rally race, and as we were driving to the next town, these rally cars would be passing us on the street going to the next race.
Yeah. Yeah. And Matt Lane corrected me. Adam Hodson in the gray S10 there with the turbos way up over the hood, over the roof line. Yeah. That's one of my favorite trucks ever. That guy is awesome. And he ended up winning the whole thing. So, you know, it's probably because he was in the McKinney Corp parking lot. That's all I'm saying. Just that extra horsepower from you guys over there. All right. To kind of wrap this up, we do have a question though. Do you have a street car, like a fun, you know, street in strip drag and drive car you could bring out at some point?
I don't. The closest thing I ever had to a street car was a 66 Chevrolet 4-door Biscayne, 6-cylinder, 3 on a tree. We called it Cream Puff in high school.
That's awesome. Well,
but all my hard-earned money goes to airplanes. I like to fly.
Oh, all right. Well, let's talk airplanes for just a second. What is your favorite plane to fly? What do you have that you enjoy?
I've got a Cirrus SR-22T turbocharged.
Oh, fun.
I've had about 6 planes over my career, and we bought this one new in 21. I had a 2004 SR-22 before that for about 11 years.
How cool.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, Eric, that's what we need. We need planes, bud.
Yeah.
It would make getting to races so much easier. I'll tell you that.
Yes, it does.
Like a C-130 or something like that I can fly into, drive my car into so I can drive it once I get to town. Monday Morning Racer on here saying it was great to have Back to the Streets roll through. It sure was. He did a great job of documenting the visit, walking around the parking lot and all that kind of stuff. So we appreciate him and, again, putting this together. I'd like to have you on sometime in the future and really kind of dig in and talk about some of the parts and pieces. And I need to do my own research on kind of how that crossover is. I know we've talked about nitro funny cars, and typically street car guys, that doesn't mean anything to them because we're all, you know, running regular door cars. But there's a lot of parts and pieces that you guys carry that would work for what we do every day here. So, I'd love to have you back on and talk through some of that. And
yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, do all that stuff. So, Murf, thank you so much for making the time this morning. We appreciate you coming on, and hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks all the guys for stopping by. It was a great group, and it was a fun day.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, sir. We'll see you soon.
All right, see you.
Bye. Dude, how cool!
Yeah, super cool.
Like I don't know if have we ever had a nitro funny car guy on here?
Other than probably having Monday Morning Racer on, that was probably the closest thing we had.
Right? Yeah, that's Dustin saying Sick Rainfest is finally drying up. Hey, that's the way it goes, man. You're in the Midwest. That's where it's at.
Yes, sir.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, let's get rolling here. Again, thanks to Murf for coming on. Appreciate him being such an open book there for a few minutes. I would like to have him back on and talk about some of the parts and pieces. And again, thanks to Deechworks for the support. Of course, Racer Party sponsor for the circuit, Feed the Racer Party or Feed the Racers sponsor as well at all of our Street and Strip series, which is our 3 single day events. So we'll be doing snacks and all that kind of stuff at Velocity Motorsports, thanks to Deechworks.
That's
all right,
awesome.
sir. Let's do some Car Change 3D stuff, though, man.
All right. Car Change 3D should be your first choice for custom 3D printed parts for your project car. Corey can take your idea to reality. Maybe you're looking for that special car guy gift they can't get anywhere else. Corey can produce a one-off keychain for that special person's special car. Find more at carchains3d.com or on social media by searching Car Chains 3D on Facebook or Instagram. And he is always posting new parts and cool stuff that he's printing, like this one you see on the screen here, that block there on the left side for holding all the gauges on an S10 dash. That is one of their newest products that they just produced, which is super cool. Look how clean that is.
Dude, it's so nice. And like, this is square body S10 stuff, and you can see the right side actually cleans up that panel a ton. So I really like this. This is something neat, and I'm telling you, I'm not going to build a square body S10 Blazer. I'm not going to do it, even though Brian Acton is really trying to push me over the edge.
I mean, if you were going to build something, that would be pretty fun. You just
Man,
got to find that sweet deal on one somewhere,
oh, I know. That's all I need. Sweet deals on everything.
right? Airplanes, motorhomes, S10 Blazer.
Yeah,
That's all.
that's for sure. That's all. That's all I need. Fun. All right. Well, let's talk about some Drop the Hammer updates. Before we get into photos, I want to give a shout out to Jaden Zabo, who is posting photos in the Drop the Hammer group. Primo stuff. Thank you very much, because we stole some of it for the stuff here, and the photos are great. They're at North Michigan Dragway today. They'll be racing. So this will be day 2 of racing. And then they're at Mid-Michigan Motorplex tomorrow, back for some shootouts in different classes. And then they're doing a shootout for the quickest 16, which, looking at the numbers here, looks like it could be pretty quick.
Yeah.
Sorry. We'll jump through here. Larry Larson's back. It's exciting. You can see his name at the very top there in Unlimited. He currently is leading the entire thing. He is the quickest of all with a 464, which I can't remember what Steve Morris ran last year, but we'll go over all of this again on Wednesday night, because day 1 is easy. Everybody can make a pass on day 1. But
Right.
can you make a pass on day 2? So,
and Sean Skipper isn't too far behind him either.
Not at all.
With a 4.70. So
Yeah.
that kind of surprised me when I saw that. I expected Larry to run away with it, but when I saw this, I was like, okay, we've got some competition here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Third place, Jimmer Klein Jr. right now, 498 with an 8 in that beautiful GTO.
And then fourth place there, another contender, obviously, Steve Morris with a 593. It'd be interesting to see what happened there.
Yeah. Right, because you would think like you'd have had time to maybe make more than one, but if that's your best one so far, dude, you got to take it. So we'll run through some other classes, and then we're going to talk about how tight the index stuff is. So Jeremiah Kirby is currently first in naturally aspirated, again, 800 plus cubic inch, that green Chevelle with the stacks out of the hood. So freaking cool. That car came to Heads Up Hustle last year with like a 650 cubic inch setup, or 615, I think. And they were talking about this 800 plus cubic inch big block going in it. 503 for him on day 1.
That's wild. Like, that is almost as quick as like Larry Larson, but in an NA vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's right behind Jimmer Klein in the Unlimited at a 498.
Right. Pretty wild. Tommy Dupree, we talked about earlier, Summit Racing in the NA class as well. Second place with a 6.536.
Yeah, Tommy's on it, man.
Yeah, I'm so happy that he is, from what we can see, not having any troubles with this car. I know he had a rough time with the S10 when he debuted that, but so far things are looking very good for Tommy in this new Mustang, and it's awesome to see.
Yep. And then Brian Acton, one of our friends here at Drag Driver Pete. Sorry, we should be going through some of these photos. Brian Acton out there in the 545 class, currently in first place with a 545.8. So he's 008 off the number.
Yeah, that is amazing. But obviously, this is a track pretty local to these guys, so they've had some time to race on there, which is always helpful.
Yeah. And they have a tune-up that's probably really good. I mean, obviously they have a great tune-up, but they were at the circuit a couple weeks ago, took second place, and I know I saw several 540s, late 540s passes at the circuit.
Yep. And then Logan Nelson in the tailgates in 28s class, leading that with a 7.06.
Yeah, that's a fun, fast class. Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button. You got Roger Jurink up next, stick shift class first with a 766 time on day 1 so far.
And then Philip Benston with in the 28 275 class, leading that with a 5.535.
Yeah, I'm in. And then Keith DeLuca 850. No, sorry. Yeah, in the 850 class, he's first with an 851.7, and then Dale Matthews is second in the 850 class with an 852.9. So just 100 separates those two guys.
Yeah, that's going to be tight.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about the 640 index being tight when we talked about I lost what I was thinking there when we talked about who were we talking about earlier?
I don't remember.
Casey Banner. That's who we were talking about.
Yeah,
Casey Banner in the 640 index with a 644 being in 7th place. DJ Matthews is leading that 640 index with a 6406. So, man, 06. And then Justin Deward in a 6408. So, first place 6406, second place 6408.
And it doesn't lay off from there. You got Tim Contreras in third with a 6.411. You got Kyle Acton with a 6.415. You got Roy Johnson with a 6.422. And I'll let you tell the last two there to round up our top 7.
Yeah. Joey Jarks with a 6.423. So you just said Rory Johnson with a 6.422. And we've got a 6.423. And then Casey Banner with that 6.44.2.
Yeah, this is going to be a class that's going to be fun to watch. Obviously, we know day 2 typically really changes things because you can always run a hero pass on the first day. You can make that work. But can you do it day 2? And if you can, I mean, guys like Kyle Acton, with a 415, 6.415, he's not out of this because all it takes is DJ Matthews to run like a 6.420, which is still a great number in a 640 index, and suddenly they're tied.
Yeah.
So it's
pretty wild
awesome. Yeah.
for Kyle to be out there with a brand new build and to be sitting there in a 640 index with a 641.
Yeah. One tuning session on it. And they're doing that. Pretty insane. 750 index is equally as tight, but for the top 3. So we got Todd Bilsma, 756. You got Evan Turcottle at a 757.7. So just 100 separates them. And then Todd Richards bringing up the top 3 with a 7.591. Bro, that's insane.
Yeah, pretty awesome. It'll be fun to follow this throughout the rest of the weekend and see how these shape up, and we'll cover the rest of that on Wednesday.
Yep, and a couple other things about the class or about the event. Larry Larson's back. Obviously, that's huge news. It's the first time in 10 years he has drag and drive raced. He is in the S10. I didn't have any photos that I felt were good enough to throw in here. Of course, this new Chevelle 800 plus cubic inches. This is a big deal for all of our drag and drive fans. This is going to be a contender once they decide which week-long event they want to attend. And then Mr. Clark Rosenstengel is out in the Camaro. If you guys remember, this car was wrecked, I think, last year, a year before. Complete rebuild on this car, completely new paint, all the kind of stuff. So Clark's out in it. I'm excited to see this car back and doing its thing. And big shout out to him. I mean, he's really worked his ass off to get this car ready to go and out here. And then, dude, 72 cars in the DYO class.
That is wild.
Yeah. So here's what I want to relay this to people. As you look here, there's classes here that some of the DYO stuff would have been competitive in, right? But if you're in DYO and you think, man, 28s, 275, those cars are going to be super fast. They are. They're going to be very fast. But you could podium in there pretty easy if one of these guys didn't make it. So I think people jump into DYO as a catch-all because it's easy. Hey, I can run, 786 in my index, and I can do that every day. But it's probably not a bad idea to look at some of these other numbers, and that's why the historical stuff is so important as we move forward, because people can make decisions like that. Looking in, they can see what the ETs were of people for the last 2 or 3 years in, say, stick shift, which has only 2 cars, and those cars are one's in the 7s and one's in the 8s. Like, there's several DYO cars that could have jumped in stick shift if they were stick shift operated, obviously. But things like that as you move forward, begin thinking about that stuff for all these races. I mean, there's 4 cars in naturally aspirated. Like,
I
We
think
need
it's
more.
I think it's a great spot for people, new people that are coming into the sport to just jump in and get their feet wet. But yeah,
Yep.
once you start getting into your second and third and fourth and so on events, like then it's time to kind of see, get in where you fit in kind of deal.
Yep, that's for sure. All right. Well, again, thanks to Corey and the team over at Car Change 3D. They are awesome. Man, I love seeing all his new stuff. Corey Nicholson on Facebook or Car Change 3D on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. We need to peer pressure him into doing more YouTube stuff.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, appreciate all of our race car friends here this morning. We're not done yet. We still got more stuff to cover, but just wanted to say our appreciations for you guys being here on Saturday morning. And again, all of our sponsors. We couldn't do all the traveling and all the things that we do if it wasn't for this list of companies. So thank you to Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Low Dollar Motorsports, PowerTube TV, and Racing Junk.
All right. Let's hit the Smalley Motorsports and then we'll get to rolling.
Looking for a forged piston kit for your vehicle? You need Molly Motorsport Power Pack. What is Power Pack? It's the ultimate forged piston kit that comes complete with pistons, performance file fit rings, hot string steel pins, and clips, all engineered to work together, so all you have to do is build something great. Find your Power Pack at mollymotorsport.com.
All right. Dude, Howard's Cams, you want to play that video and then we'll talk about some fun stuff happening around the community?
Absolutely.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Harris from the Monoxide Podcast. Real quick, Howard's Cams was founded as a racing cam manufacturer almost 80 years ago when Howard Johansson created Howard's Power and Racing Equipment in 1945. Howard's Cams has always used on-track experience to design the most powerful designs, and today they have an even greater group of experienced racers in circle track, drag racing, road race, mud bog, and marine. They use all this input plus the most advanced computer software to design the most competitive race-winning products. From pioneers in drag racing and oval track to cutting-edge marine development, Howard's Cams is at the forefront of the industry. So make sure to reach out to our friend, Luke B, for your next valve train upgrade.
Big shout out to Luke B. Man, he's I know he's tired of talking to me half the time. All right. I don't think I put a picture of this in here, so we'll go ahead and take this out. But 1320 Video Team shared an important video. I hope everybody has seen it. I think it had a couple 100,000 views as of last night. But the post says, if you haven't done it, go over and watch it. But the post says the 1320 Video Team shares an important update following the unexpected passing of founder and owner Kyle. Despite the heartbreaking loss, the team is committed to keeping 1320 Video alive, continuing to attend events, capture coverage, and deliver the content you've come to love over the past 23 years, bro. 23 years, that's crazy. Local Omaha events like Hot Summer Nights and Ice Cream Cruise are still happening as planned, and then you can go watch the full video. And remember to smile like Kyle. Thought that was a great update. Great news for the community too, man. I mean, I would hate to see that go away because of that. So love to see that they're going to continue to take the, pick up the torch and continue to carry it. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Up next, FUB, Bill Spangler out testing, bro. This car, this is going to be street race, power adder, big block contender. It's got a Godzilla twin turbo setup in it. You guys are in trouble. I'm just going to say 84993, 8408, and 85108, bro. This car's on point. So he was at Turn and Burn, couldn't get the car to do what he wanted. Unfortunately, DNF'd that one, but whatever he intends to attend next is going to be on point. Again, street race, power adder, big block. You have been warned. And I think 6 Summer, maybe Bill's next event. Hold on just a second. Let me look this up. Met Bill and his co-pilot, which I cannot remember his name off the top of my head. Yeah, he said, are we going to see you guys at 6 Summer? And I told him Eric would be at 6 Summer and we'll get some photos and conversation with them. And he said, bring it on. So, dude, good luck to everybody because this guy, he can make it work. He is a 10-0 champion, 10-0 runner, and has made a complete switch in this car and gone big 2 twin turbos and Godzilla, like Jeff Kirchick here says.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
remember one of our first guests on the show was Bill, and we were
Yeah.
calling him Mr. 10-0, and now look here, 850s.
Yeah, he's going to be Mr. 850 for sure. All right. Tell us what's going on here, though, dude.
This one I'm excited about. Ned Dunphy in the Viper has the car apart, widened the rear fenders to fit some 36-inch Bubba radials from Mickey Thompson.
Yeah, you remember
36 inches.
Dude, they just debuted those tires at PRI, and he's fixing around a 36-inch radial, bro. This is going to be insane. This car is going to be very, very, very fast.
It already is the fastest car in drag and drive today, and has the engine and transmission out to be refreshed before drag week. Let me tell you, I am excited for drag week. This is going to be wild. I mean, we could see a new record once again.
Yeah, dude, bring it on. Bring it on. With the caliber of cars coming to drag week, we could truly see something wild go down right here. When he rolled around, this is a video that Ned posted on his page, but when he rolled around the front and there was nothing in there, I was like, oh God, that doesn't scare me at all. Not at all. Insane. Next up, Nikki Bobby 3D printed aluminum intake a couple months ago, and people were, will this work? Can it handle the boost? All that kind of stuff. So he said he wanted to give an update. He said, I know a lot of people were curious as to how the 3D printed aluminum cold side would hold up. Well, after a couple hundred street miles, because he did turn and burn, and then the NHRA street legal peak streetcar shootout, and then he did King of the Streets, which doesn't have any drive on it. But he said 30 plus pounds of boost from forced induction Zona rotor 98s. He's got two 98s on a 670 cubic inch big block. This car makes big power. Few runs in the 670 quarter mile, and even a run at a 667 at 215 miles an hour. Still looks brand new. Haven't had any issues or problems yet. This could be a game changer. I mean, Nikki Bobby Inc. does a lot of stuff. This is they 3D scanned all of the area and then printed these pieces off. And dude, this looks incredible.
Yeah. 3D printing aluminum isn't something new, but I think it's probably new to the aftermarket automotive industry for sure. So this will be exciting.
Yeah, this is a big deal and can really change, because think of the pie cuts involved to make what he needed to make. And now you can do it in any direction and style you want. So
I'm aware of pie cuts. You should see mine. They're crazy.
Yeah, that makes it a good time. All right, well, tell us what's going on here.
Yeah, so talking about Rocky Mountain Race Week, stick shift class, Bill Armstrong asked who's coming to stick shift, and we got some responses here. Adam Walker, we got Scott Anderson Jr., Chris Bach, Stevie Dory driving the Civic wagon, like we talked to Adam a couple weeks ago, Chris Presnell, James Shamhorn, Mike Deronda, Matt Farrow, Marcus Linnell. Like, there's some names there, and we're going to go deeper into this on Wednesday night and discuss all things Rocky Mountain Race Week, because we are going to be on the cusp of kickoff for Rocky Mountain Race Week.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be an incredible event. Again, my plan is to take the old truck up on day 0 and day 1, then come home after that. But that'll get us some racing. That'll get us the racer pre-party, again, hosted at Great Bend. They're shutting the entire downtown down for all of the Rocky Mountain Race Week cars. So that'll be really cool to see all of those cars around the square and all the fun stuff that goes on there.
For sure.
Oh, wow. Before we move on, Ken says one of our front-wheel drive Honda guys just put a 3D printed exhaust manifold on his B series. Wow. Looks amazing. No welds. Dude, we're in the golden age of drag racing, bro. I'm telling you.
Mr. Tom Bagley here as well.
Yeah. Big shout out to Howard's. Appreciate them there. Again, one of our early sponsors. Thank you to Luke and all the stuff they do for us over there. And Howard's Cams valve train in your car that should hopefully be coming out, soon enough. We're gonna attack some 10.0 stuff, and then Erica's gonna put some big boy pants on and go 850 stuff. It's going to be fun.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Tell us about what you found this week on Racing Junk.
All right. So Racing Junk Classifieds is the official buy-sell partner of Drag Driver P and your go-to destination for everything from race cars to trailers, engines, and more. You can join the Racing Junk community today and experience the ultimate marketplace for gearheads like us. Visit racingjunk.com now. So let me show you what I got this week. I got a couple of different cars here. Two of them that I think are going to be pretty interesting. Here is the first one. We got a 1992 Camaro Z28 twin turbo for $9,500.
Dude, that sounds cheap.
I would agree. Doesn't look like there's a cage or anything in it. So
Nice.
obviously probably gonna need that. But do those buttons on that thin material scare you at all?
Completely.
Like there's
I
no
was like,
support at the
that
top
looks
of that
so
steering wheel.
dainty.
Yeah, so scrolling through these pictures here.
Good
Pretty-
looking car.
Pretty interesting setup there.
Traditional small block Ford or small
Yep.
block Chevrolet too.
Yep, blow through carb.
Cool.
I think for $9,500, this is still a pretty banging deal here.
Yeah.
So this is in Miami, Florida. Again, 92 Camaro, small block Chevy, aluminum Brodix head, Super Victor intake, bow tie, special block, fully forged, Harlan sharp rocker arms, twin 64 millimeter precision turbos, custom turbo kit, a lot of suspension parts, a new set of slick tires on the back, MSD 6AL, boost controller, auto meter gauges, has a power glide that needs a rebuild.
Wow. Heck yeah. Tom Bagley said he'd drive it. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think this is for the price, this is a great start for somebody right here.
Oh, for sure.
Somebody could pick that up now and then get it all together and get what it needs and be ready for Sick Week 27.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Miami, dude, get that thing, and I mean, you got a whole year left.
Yeah. Yep. Throw on your mullet and let it flow in the wind.
That's awesome. Adam Warso, before you jump into the next one, says he drives by McKinney almost every day. Never knew that went on in there. Thanks for letting us stop and check it out.
Yeah, pretty cool. Our second one here, a super clean Ford Ranger here, says new build, complete turnkey for 25 grand, which also seems like a deal.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very clean looking.
Wow. Man, it's so wild to me. People build stuff and then sell it. Like maybe it's just what I mean, I like the build process of stuff, but dang.
Yeah, this one's got a cage in it and everything. Again, it looks very, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Got all that room for activities in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, everything on
That's
this one
right.
looks super nice. And again, a new build, like crazy.
Wow.
So this one is in Pennsylvania, Holsapopel, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a new build, complete turnkey drag truck, expertly crafted for thrill seekers and adrenaline junkies. It's a 363 Ford Stroker engine, cutting edge suspension, braking systems. Doesn't have a lot of in-depth details about what is in the vehicle, but says whether you're gearing up for serious competition or ready to take on the drag and drive scene, this complete turnkey package is ready for action. So pretty awesome. Again, I'd like to see a little more info on what is all done to the vehicle. This to me sounds like it was an AI created for sale post.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought too, because it really says a lot, or has a lot of words, but doesn't say anything.
Right. But again, $425 grand for a complete turnkey, very clean looking Ford Ranger. I think this is a deal here.
Yeah, this is one you could buy and have in time for one of the events that goes on in, like Dragway Rush. You could do one of the 11 events in June. Are all, there's several up in that northeastern part of the U.S. You could take this to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this one's a deal. I like it.
Yeah.
Not much of a Ranger person, obviously a big Chevy LS guy, but this one I do like.
Yeah, it's super clean, and for 25,000. All right, let's see. Tommy Dupree giving us an update here from Drop the Hammer. He said, this track's been a little tough. Second pair out and shook horribly. Going to have to make it happen in the next session. Yeah. Yeah. If you're going to stay in second, you need to stay ahead of those guys.
That is true.
All right. Couple comments here before we wrap up. One asked, Matt H asked, what year is Stanley? Stanley's a 66 GMC truck. That's my old truck. And then, of course, Richard Brewer stopping in here. He dropped on the Dirty Panda YouTube channel an hour and 20-minute video yesterday of the day one passes he took at Back to the Streets. Dude, I haven't watched the full video yet, but the first like 6 or 7 minutes of it looks awesome. Throw that thing up on your TV today on YouTube and just let that thing play. Let's support him out there. And yes, more power, Tommy. More power. That's what we need. Tom Bagley is on his way to the U.S. right now. He said it's weird watching while on the flight to JFK, but here we are. He's on his way to do Rocky Mountain Race Week. But obviously, he's going to be here later today. What's neat about this is he's going to actually land. He's going to get in the car and he's going to drive to Kansas City today or tomorrow. And he is going to end up there with Red Hat Scotty. They're going to do some maintenance and updates on the car there. And then he's cruising over to Great Bend, Kansas for the kickoff of Rocky Mountain Race Week. I can't wait to hang out with that dude. I can't wait to see the updates. And there's something really big he's working on. I hope he gets it done in time. If he does, it's going to be really, really cool. I was trying to think.
That's awesome.
There was someone else, another comment in here. I think it was maybe just the ones from Ken, Dragon Drive Life UK. He's got some stuff working too, and he'll be at Street Weekend getting us some exclusive content and photos and all that kind of stuff. So big shout out to him.
Yep, Tom said he's going to Kansas City on Wednesday.
Nice. All right. Well, cool. I wish I was on his route in some way, but I'll just have to see him at Rocky Mountain. All right, sir. Lead us out, man.
Once again, appreciate all of our race car friends here on this beautiful Saturday morning. Appreciate you guys starting your morning here with us, talking about some race car stuff. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. And again, one more time, can't do this without all of our sponsors. Again, we've got affiliate links, we've got discount codes, or if you just need to get in contact with somebody, reach out to us. We will make sure that we get you in contact with the right person. So thank you to Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Low Dollar Motorsports, PowerTube TV, and Racing Junk. And we will see everybody again on Wednesday night.
Yep. For the podcast listeners, I know this is very last second, but I've finally updated all the stuff. So you're welcome. You now have like 12 hours of stuff that you can listen to from us because I updated it for the first time in a month. So, all right. See you guys soon.